My name is Abby Smith, and for the National Security Capstone, I am representing the Department of Homeland Security in evaluating and proposing my agency's positions on the North Korean nuclear threat. During President Trump's first term, the United States extended an olive branch to North Korea and established contact through the Singapore summit. This led to a diplomatic phase between the two countries, which got North Korea to pause their nuclear and long-term missile tests, while also dismantling some testing facilities. Towards the end of his first term, North Korea resumed their short-term missile tests, but upheld the rest of their agreement until the end of his term. During the COVID-19 pandemic, North Korea completely isolated themselves, refusing all foreign aid, and was one of the strictest countries and policies during the pandemic, closing their borders January of 2020. During the pandemic, President Biden was very adamant about only meeting with North Korea if they agreed to a discussion about denuclearization. Biden never formally met with Kim Jong-un during his term. Once the world started to get back to normal, the Russian-Ukrainian war started. During this, North Korea started to ally themselves with Russia, and this was shown through a public appearance of North Korea, China, and Russia in 2025. This was seen as a public unity directly against the United States. As of 2022, opposing rising world superpower Russia has in the past been against North Korea developing nuclear capabilities. After Russia invaded Ukraine in February of 2022, though, Russia has grown a lot closer to North Korea, specifically by buying them artillery shells to replenish their dwindling stocks. This new alliance growing closer is a major threat to the United States. Russia has also started supplying North Korea with military equipment, more advanced defense systems, nuclear submarine technology, and other components for making weapons. North Korea's reasoning for resuming and growing their weapon capabilities is to act as a deterrent strategy against the United States. With the active threats against the United States and them allying with enemy countries, this makes North Korea very dangerous and something that should be on the radar of the president. Russia and North Korea are very unstable and unpredictable right now. One wrong thing can be said and then boom, we're in a deadly conflict. As the Director of Homeland Security in this capstone, this is the last thing we want to happen. North Korea has the capability to launch long-term missiles that could reach the homeland. This is a serious matter that isn't getting enough attention. I think the United States needs to restart its communications and negotiations with North Korea, while also including China and Russia. These three countries have shown the U.S. they are rising to power and will not bow down to us anymore. The United States needs to be a branch of peace, trying to connect nations, not arguing and causing unnecessary problems like siblings. For my structured analytical technique, I chose to do the 4 ways of seeing. I think being able to show how each party sees the issue will give us a better understanding of the issue. In my first box, America sees this issue as a real growing threat. This isn't 20 years ago where we were the lone world superpower. Countries are starting to catch up and may soon pass us. As Director of Homeland Security, my first and main priority is American lives, along with the homeland and protecting critical infrastructure. For my second box, North Korea is focused on advancing their country and becoming a more powerful nation. With this, I believe North Korea wants to become more powerful, respected, and feared by other smaller nations. For my third box, America is seeing North Korea take steps they haven't in the past to advance their defense and attack. The public showing of North Korea, China, and Russia was a punch to America, telling us to be careful. This is more concerning when we remember Russia is still fighting a war and at the same time helping North Korea advance. This is a serious alliance to monitor. For my fourth box, North Korea is seeing America, now under the Trump administration again, putting billions into defense of the United States, including strengthening our military and weapons. To North Korea, they need to protect themselves. North Korea is now being seen as an unpredictable and uncontrollable country to the U.S., meaning they are growing in power. As the Director of Homeland Security, I have 2 proposals on how to handle this issue. The first being to restart negotiations and discussions with North Korea. The last thing we want to do is go to war against 2 other world superpowers who have North Korea's back. Millions, even billions of lives could be lost all around the world. The first priority is the safety of our people and our critical infrastructure. We have seen in the past through President Trump that negotiations can work. We just need to rebuild these relationships, showing North Korea we don't want to fight them. And if my first option doesn't work, my second stance would be to show a sign of strength. Building stronger alliances with countries not allied with North Korea, China, or Russia can help benefit the United States. Even starting conversations with countries that sometimes ally with them would also be a good idea, showing that the United States is everywhere. But this potentially has a lot of drawbacks. Being too ambitious, could anger these countries. If and when we begin option 1, I would like to include most to all of the intelligence agencies, because they would be the most help on navigating this issue and finding some solution to bring this to an end. For my references, I stuck to only using EDUs, and I got a lot of information from the Library of Congress. This was an amazing resource, and it was able to give me different information on the same overall topic, highlighting specific areas. The Library of Congress website helped me better understand the topic and how it relates to the world today, along with how other people view this conflict too.